Kanye, why are you always so confusing? Donda 2 is out there right now, 16 tracks available on the stem player. Who knows if this is going to be the final album, if there's going to be more listening parties. I would guess so. But my thinking is, everybody's listening to Donda 2 this weekend, right? So I want my thoughts on these 16 tracks as they're out there right now on my channel. As always, the full uncut reaction is on the Patreon. Come and join the Patreon army. The link is down in the description for that. Guys, much like Kanye himself, I am trying to defeat Universal Music. They're bad for artists, they're bad for content creators like me. Can I get more subscribers than UMG? I need your help. Jump down and hit subscribe. Donda 2, version 2.22.2222. Let's go. I can't lie, it's really good to hear his voice again. Rest in peace to X.
No hard feelings, but these feelings harder. When I think about it, my eyes fill up with water. Don't have our daughters.
Obviously, a lot of tracks on here are talking about Kanye's divorce and the situation he's in, some co-parenting stuff. It's very on the nose. It's very sometimes a little bit like awkwardly intimate.
Like me, I take it too far though. At least have him in some mics. He played for Chicago. I only see 3
Sorry, I
kids
just realized I'm wearing Nike.
Chicago.
Sorry, yo.
And you know all the daddy's not gone. You see the light on.
Obviously, mix sounding a little rough here, so I'm assuming this isn't going to be the final Donda 2, but I like the tone of this song.
Tailgate Q. Daddy's at home.
Tailgate Q, Daddy's at home. I think with a richer mix, this song could be special. It does sound very thin at the moment. Yeah, there was something about XXXTentacion and the way that he could sort of bury himself, or burrow himself, I should say, into your core emotions. I'm fortunate enough that those first reactions to his music all the way back on Rock Reacts, they still exist. And it really did hit us as guys, you know, from a different generation than X and a lot of his fans still. But when he can just connect with an emotional core in a way that few artists can.
What does it mean to find your soul? Pay the toll on a broken road.
What does it mean to find your soul? Pay the toll on a broken road. Don Toliver's bordering on cheat code is a feature as well.
Baby, I'm free, like a homeless person. No matter how much you got, you can't own this person. Perfect love is a version of being a virgin again. I was told, it's how you interpreted it. Pay the toll.
What if the surgeon's really the serpent? He's had a lot of issues with surgeons over the years. I don't know if that's a direct thing with him and Kim, or, you know, obviously what happened to Donda. This is called Donda 2. Again, it feels like another song to set up the rest of the record, doesn't it? Because I'm playing it through the stem player website, you have to go back, find the next song, wait for the 4 stems to format, and then you can play it through the website, but you have to have your stem player connected.
I still get lost in that. Lost in my dreaming. I still get lost in that. Memory back when I remember we had the man.
This is an interesting track. I love the electronic harmonies. I do feel maybe it needs a bass and drum, but maybe not.
Memory back from there. I went to final fight. But a new sight to see what you were right for me, what look was right for me. I did what's right for me. Right is the number.
Maybe it doesn't need the other stuff. He's just really speaking and bearing his soul on this track in a way that he doesn't. I mean, obviously he talks from the heart always, but and in this particular subject matter, he's spoken from the heart as well. And the Instagram stuff's kind of a separate thing, but he's really just getting that pain out onto record or whatever you want to call it. But he needs the kind of vocal masking and the harmonies because he can't quite commit to just letting it all be out there. That's what I got from that song, but it's almost like halfway there without the bass, without the drums on there.
2 keys, 2 breeze, too easy, 2 breeze. Remember I did love on for the whole life.
Here we go, that beat. Listen to that bass. I've never done to do this with a reaction before. Yeah, this song's fucking awesome. Just feels like it's straight from 808s. Listen to that, just the bass in the vocal. Woo! Woo! Come on! Come on! That's the real shit, man. That is the real shit. I don't know if you saw my short / TikTok about Kanye being the GOAT, because you can literally basically go through his entire back catalogue. Actually, Joe, just run the whole short. Kanye West might just be the greatest artist of our time. But I'm not just saying that. I want to prove it. And you can play this game at home too. Just open up Kanye's discography on your DSP of choice. Shut your eyes, scroll up and down, let go, double click, and see what happens.
Diamonds are forever.
Shut your eyes, scroll up and down, let go, and see what happens. Every time. Try it yourself. Let me know down in the comments which song you got and how it made you feel. Make sure you're watching my shorts and TikToks. This is going to be one of those ones, man, because look, you just go back to the beginning and, oh yeah, this stem player is really good. The second you hear that, woo, you just straight in. And Kanye's best music does that. And he literally has about 60 songs that make you feel like that on the first note. And that's why I think, you know, he's just levels. That song fucking rules.
There ain't a something, some things don't matter. You ain't me, you ain't done. I am a flex, imagine your ex facing when he find out. I am the best, you hit the top, wait till they find out. He not a threat, send him a text, put him on timeout. Keep the flowers in 100,000. Man, your life finna change right now. Why you so scared that somebody find out?
It's a chaotic track, isn't it? That instrumental's really at odds with the rest of it. I like the beginning with the sample and his vocals. And you're like, oh, maybe Drake could slide on this. And then when the instrumental kicks in, you're like, well, not really. What's it sound like without that?
He not a threat, send him a text, put him on timeout.
How different is that?
Balenciaga for all your friends, Hermes for the argument. Change right now. Your life finna change right now. Your life finna change right.
There's something there. Let's see how that one evolves. This is interesting, man. I've never done a reaction like this. Trust Ye to make it a completely different thing. And I love the fact I'm doing it where I can actually take. I wasn't planning on it, but they're actually being able to do it live and just say, I wonder what that sounds like. It's actually really fucking cool. Okay, on that black skinhead energy on this one.
No, you can't be on my mama album. Pop's home, I ain't getting frisked. I put your security at risk. I put the security at risk. Okay, we gon' make this an event. I walk in the crib, no getting frisked. Butt naked in the kitchen cooking grits. Tell your mama, come give me a kiss. Security, gon' need security for this.
I love the instrumental to this. I like going back to that Yeezus era anyway. Vocally, I'm assuming when I first heard this on the Experience, I thought this was aimed at Kim, which was a bit much given like what's happened to her and generally. Seems like it's actually more aimed at Pete. It's just like expressing his anger and putting out a record. I don't think it's necessarily problematic, but at the same time, it's a bit much. But the instrumentation is crazy, dude.
I make your security a quit. Like, we don't get paid enough for this.
Not nice to the meanest. Feeling sorry for my mama and them. Survivors get really get old. Whole gang in the end zone. Not nice in the meeting. She ain't happy with the other guy. Had an argument the other night. I ain't even get to apologize while I'm in the meetings looking disguised.
What a year for him. What a year.
Don't care about events.
We here. We can't deny that we here. We here. Everything that we plan. Huncho, I did. You did it, kid. You did it, kid. Like a J got potty train. Hourglass, how potty came.
Censored.
Down with the what a name. No,
Why?
I'm telling you. Pushing P, Bill Bellamy. Trying with a felony.
See the jealousy, the struggle made me a better me. Why you talking, is you paying me? Lamborghini coated candy. If I f*** her, she gon' have the baby on the plan A and the plan B. $250,000 to the nanny.
This sounds like something from Graduation mixed with a trap song. I think Migos kill their verses on here. I think Keem at the beginning is great as well. I really like this track. There's a lot to love on this track. It's a shame it's censored. Kanye's not swearing massive amounts on his bit, so I didn't really notice before, but obviously Migos is swearing quite a lot, especially if it was uncensored on the Experience, but who knows? It's very frustrating because censored rap music sucks. But I still really like this song. Like, I like those triumphant horns, dudes. Shades are going back on for the rest of it. Let's go.
Young with the birds, cow pits. In the Yadium, Sadie Benz. We don't play with him. He got friends. He know Migo them. Knock off limbs. Yeah, we did it, kid, to the M's. Ryan presidential with the rims. Hand bit it like a carpenter did it. Shooting bullets out the cars for this. Tattoos and the scars for this. Remember when we used to bar fits?
A lot of time for that track. Really enjoyable track. Pablo now with Future and Trav. This is the one that really stuck out for me from the Experience. It's the one that's been playing back in my head. I couldn't actually remember most of the rest of the tracks because I literally just watched the Experience once.
Who they waiting on? That's Pablo.
Woo!
Take my heart run. Just don't go numb. Just don't go dumb. Let's have some fun.
Not that I go to clubs,
Pull out your tongue.
but I feel like this is going to go off in clubs.
Who they waiting on? That's Pablo. I never surface, Ross is blind. Time for to say that love is blind. Try myself is new in town. Pick me up before I drown. Then I know you ain't. You ain't. Doing nothing. You can't.
I mean, if the song ain't finished, eh? I was gonna say don't put it out, but actually, we'll listen to this version, we'll listen to the next version. It's okay, it's in early access.
Who they waiting on? That's Pablo.
Promise in the blitz, turn to your ashtray. You can have a bad day. Roll with a stick, 3,000 shots, Andre. Top of the world, get starstruck. I should be all up. Calm my nerves, hang with narcos. Shoot like Vado, bear to the loft. I can go massage plane, and I'm with my dog, right or wrong.
That beat and Future are just made
Who they
for each
waiting on?
other.
That's Pablo.
Made for each other. If I was actually playing using the actual stem player, you'll be able to isolate that main hook, that Who They Waiting On Is Pablo, really nicely just by holding it and letting it go, which I'm definitely going to do later. I'm using the stem player website. I'd have to like click like a StarCraft 2 player to get it to work like that. Yeah, that song is good. It feels unfinished. There is a bit where Ye literally just goes like the Chacaron guy. You don't know the Chacaron guy? Joe, can you just run Chacaron a little bit? Do I mind that this album feels like it's in early access? Not really. That's kind of like people have invested for the early access version of Donda. It should have been a bit more explicit. But to be fair, I went on a rant the other day that he said it was going to come out on a certain date. He charged people $200 and it didn't come out. Well, it kind of came out the next day. So it's a bit out of order, but it's not like we're still here waiting on this album. There are 16 tracks out there. It's a little bit rough. It's a little bit unfinished, but it's also delivered in a completely unique way. So there's positives and negatives, but what Ye's done here is he knows exactly what he's doing. And this is just an evolution of something called The Curve. There's a book called The Curve about basically online music distribution. This book is about 10 years old, but it's basically talking about how 9 Inch Nails decided to start putting their music out for free on their website. This is back in the days where, yeah, streaming services were about, but people were still buying music. People were buying like iTunes and stuff like that. They decided to take a different model. Trent Reznor wanted the music out to as many people as possible. But the curve is, so all of these people were basically listening to the music for free. But then he put out some special editions, some editions with like tour tickets, and then these super high-end special edition versions. I think he made 2,500 of them. Forgive me if I'm getting that wrong. And what he ended up making in terms of financials was actually more than he was making on his previous albums using a traditional model. So basically the super fans end up covering the cost for everything else. Yeah, he's not putting the music out for free. He's not going on streaming services at the moment. But I think, this guy isn't stupid. They're not stupid. They know everybody's going to be listening however they're going to find it, like the olden days. But the curve right now is this thing. To be able to get inside an album in a completely unique way, it's fantastic. And it just feels fucking cool. It really does when you get your hands on one.
I stopped buying Louie Bags at the Virgil Pass.
Rest in peace to Virgil.
Bags at the Virgil Pass. I stopped buying Louie Bags at the Virgil Pass. I'm in the Louie store with a Gucci mask. I'm in the Louie store with a Gucci mask.
This is the least relatable song ever.
With a Gucci mask. Doing business, it won't be no business. We ain't doing business, it won't be no business. We ain't picking on the thunder, let it Binding on the thunder, let it
Early access.
I'm not gonna lie, couldn't move. Couldn't even if I wanted to.
Wow, those drums sound like they were found in someone's Winamp in about 1997. Let's see if I can isolate that a little bit, because they sound fucking rough. Actually, on their own, they kind of sound hard.
Louie bag. We stopped buying Louie Bags at the Virgil Pass. I stopped buying Louie Bags at the Virgil Pass. I stopped buying Louie.
None of us can buy Louie Bags, Kanye, because we spent all our money on stem players and Yeezy Gap merch. But it's all good. It's all good. You say whatever you need to say, mate.
I'm my little cousin's favorite cousin. I gave him all my number and my phone ain't stopped buzzing. They listen to my songs and say their parents hate the cussing. They ask if I was nervous on TV or if I wasn't.
I like Jack Harlow. He sounds a lot like Drake on this track. There's no denying that. Yeah, he told him top 5. Yeah, he says a lot of stuff. He ain't top 5. Maybe he's top 5 in his age group. I have to really sit and think about that. I don't actually know how old he is. I assume he's under 25. I'm kind of fixated on this rap is under 25 thing right now. Maybe that's another video for another time. It probably is. But I do like Jack, but man, he sounds like Drake.
Metronome. I can't walk around like Jack that wore the spectacles. I shook the hands, took the pictures, made myself accessible. Through the party, showed love, kept it hard February. All-Star Weekend with the courtside seats in February.
Those drums, mate.
Come second like the E in February. All that humble shit was fake.
I come second like the E in February. I like that. I think Jack actually kind of saved that song because what Kanye was talking about was basically nonsense. Obviously, rest in peace to Virgil, but like, okay, you don't buy Louie Bags anymore. Okay, all right, fine. But yeah, I think that song definitely needs work. Oh, listen to that little violin in there.
Cook the dog, let me cook it, yeah. Jockers lands out the bush, yeah. Dog see go serve, yeah. You gold diggers I deserve, yeah. A gang about purses, yeah.
There's a censored version. He's sliding and then it's like,
the verb, yeah. I'm say, I know this crib my bad. Trapping in Atlanta. Bought 3,
this
4,
being
5
censored
phantoms.
is spoiling the song.
Murders and the scammers. Crocodile break for your.
Do you remember how Donda 1 was this kind of like beautiful, almost sermon? So much about his mother, some stuff about the divorce, tracks like Come to Life, which make even a not religious person like me suddenly feel like he's finding God. Here, we've got Future saying he's got the streets on Molly, then we're going to get the streets on X. A little bit of a different tone. Donda 2 is almost feeling like the middle act in a trilogy. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a Donda 3. There certainly seems to be money to be made in these amazing live events, stem player and everything else.
Hit him in the top right now. Faking on what right now. Clutching my clout right now. More on my side right now. You give me my right now.
I think we just need to take a little moment to just, let's have a little Future appreciation moment, man. He's so fucking good. He's so influential. He never sounds bad on anything. He's a crazy guy. He says some of the maddest shit when you actually get and listen to what he's actually saying.
Hopped at the Uber. Next thing you know about Uber. Don't come in with rumors.
Hopped out of Uber. Next thing you know I bought Uber. I like that Kanye.
Do I look happy to you? Do I look happy to you? Coming in like a million being frugal. I was at your mama house eating noodles. And we all
the song, the censorship has fucked this song up.
Do I look happy to you? I'ma let you finish.
Yeah, he doesn't fit as comfortably on his beat, and then he's just waffling like muffled stuff. This is so unfinished, but finish it. I'll be here for it. I don't mind the process. If you're going to tell me we're working on this, there's going to be further versions later, and we kind of like know this. Cool, I'm here for it.
Tell my mama mini. Tell them on the nina. Tell them on the nina.
But you know, I feel conflicted on that song. Early access, that's what this is. This is early access. Hey, I've played plenty of games in early access. I've consulted on plenty of games that are way before an early access state. So, you know, I can deal with it. I can absolutely deal with it. But I do hope that we do get polished, finalized versions of these songs and we're not just left with Kanye going, actually, I could do it if I just do the instrumental.
I married the best rapper of all time. Not only that, he's the richest black man in America.
He's hurting.
I better not.
So this is Sean Leon.
Stop. Let me not go apes. Skate, kick, push. We just said goodbye, but it's straight. I fuck.
Welcome to the Sci-Fi. Make a choice, oxygen or Wi-Fi. When you lay down and I gave you the seam, and I swear I heard God, the voice of Morgan Freeman.
Oh, it doesn't get any easier to hear that. Listen, my true first reaction was obviously on the previous video. Joe, run that.
The voice of Morgan Freeman.
I cannot believe I just heard that. Thank you, Joe. I think the only thing that needs to be done now, we have to do it, I think, for the culture.
When you lay down and I gave you the seam, and I swear I heard God, the voice of Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I would never, ever, ever look at Morgan Freeman the same way again now. Yeah, you fucked that up. I think that's why the stem player was invented, so we could isolate that lyric. What on earth?
Baby, baby, bye-bye. I'm just going to remove myself from the situation before I lose myself. I make a choice already, oxygen or Wi-Fi.
Selfish, I just want you all to my own. These pieces won't leave me alone. Damaged by the fact I'm alone.
In the end, it was just a purse. It was just a purse. Then again, I never seen a purse. Get took his purse, and it was this. Don't make it worse. Don't make it worse. Got an E and D at the end.
Selfish, I just want you all to my own.
Yeah, his verse all over the place on this one.
These pieces won't leave me alone.
Did this be with X?
Damaged by the fact I'm alone.
I think you could actually, with a very similar instrumentation to that, make a really like cool deep house track with that hook from X and just extend it out. Maybe the guy that did the Roses remix with St. John could get on it, but I think there could be something there.
Lord, lift me up, lift me up, lift me up, oh, lift me up, Lord, lift me up.
We've already doing great work on this track like he did on the first Donda.
Lord, lift me up, oh, lift me up. I wanna see the family view. I can't let the family lose. So everyone be back and forth like me and you. Oh Lord, I call on you to lift me up, oh, lift me up.
So this feels like the moment, like, you know, Sci-Fi is him letting go. Selfish is him just coming to terms with almost like the rest of the album and everything, and then he's gone back to Jesus here. He's gone back to the Lord.
More the drillers, miles on the pound, shooting down if I miss you. Loving on the amp and your mouth is the issue. Never on the times when your spouse supposed to be with you. High prime, fine with the fine, but the pain. Pagan on lines on the lines on the me. Tumbles on.
The beat is very cool on this track. But, you know, another one that feels very unfinished. Mixes all over the place. That verse sounded unfinished again.
One day I was tired, had to pour the whole paint. Woke up in the sky, saying money from the bank. Every time I fuck, you gotta tell me it's mine. sinning again, I've been winning again.
I hold the man up, I'm planning the clean. Came up by the time.
That sample's really jarring in kind of a cool way. Yes. Future's killed it on this record, he really has. My question to you guys, and I want to hear your answers in the comments. What would you rather? Would you rather this, where we get to hear the album evolve? Listen, this is working with the assumption that the album is going to evolve and we're going to hear final versions of these tracks. You've got to hope so. And I'm not talking about the stem player stuff and all that. I think we'd all rather eventually it just was on Spotify and things like that. I understand the reasons, but just from a consumer point of view. But would you rather this, where we get to hear it evolve over time and we get to experience that over a number of weeks and perhaps even months? Or would you just rather have the final product polished, mastered, sounding as it should? I'm torn. I like this experience, but I don't know if I'd want this very often. I'm very keen to know your thoughts on it. So yeah, get down in the comments, please. We're all reading them down here. I'm reading them, but everybody else is reading the good comments on this channel as well. We're all a community working together. Like I like to say, this channel is a place to love music. So let's all interact with one another. Oh, and by the way, if you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed, we need to beat UMG in subscribers. Every single one counts. We need to get that number up. All right, City of Gods is the next track. I've got a first reaction on the channel. I've got a second reaction on the channel with that real fucked up version from the Donda experience. I thought it was a 5-year track anyway, so I don't know if it's going to end up on this album or not. It doesn't matter. We've heard that one, so I'm going to jump straight to First Time in a Long Time, which I believe still should have Soulja Boy finally getting his moment with Kanye West.
This the first time in a long time. This the first time in a long.
Yeah, mix is crazy on this one.
This the first time in a long.
Listen to how loud and rough his vocals sound here. Just isolate it.
This the first time in a long time. This the first time in a long. I can see lightsaber like a jetty, song like a medi, boss off with a fetty. When I pop the man to gain the world and lose a soul. Though. What is they thinking the game? What is they looking to gain?
I think the final version of this could be really good.
This the first time in a long time.
Right now, it's not done.
This the first time in a.
This the first time in a long time. Used to be broke, but I'm on now. I was just stuck at the bottom. We can walk in and buy the whole building. We haven't mentioned with 8, but honestly, we used to live in the trenches. Guess there's nobody perfect. Ain't give me no bun.
I think he did a good job on this track, actually.
I sat in that cell for a long time. Big Draco. Big Yay, first time in a...
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy experience listening to it like that in this kind of like early access form. There's definitely a lot of work still needs to be done, but there's also definitely some great moments in there as well. Some of it's crazy, some of those lines are mad, but some of those beats, instrumentation, moments, features, and Future killed it all the way through. Who knows where we're going next? Who knows how I'm going to cover it, but I'm glad I did it like this and being able to break down some of the stems and do some isolations on there as well. It was really cool. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, subscribe if you're new. We're beating UMG over here. All right, bye.